Hi, in today's video we're going to be diving into Homeschool's gradebook software, and we're going to be showing you what the student portal actually looks like. So let's get started. Get logged in, go to your students page, and then go find your student here, and we're going to click on edit. So there's a thing here that says enable student portal. Go ahead and enable that option, and you can see that the students actually have a separate login compared to the parent or the teacher, right? So we're going to click on that link so we can open that up in a new window. So this is the link you would need to send to your child or your student to log in with their portal email and password. Now you're like, well, my kid is, second grade, first grade, they don't have an email. Well, we can just simply make up an email, right? It doesn't need to be a legitimate email because we're not doing any verification. So we can just do, a demo email here at AOL. Right, just make up something, maybe with some numbers and things like that, because you want to make sure it is different from any other emails in our system. So make sure it's unique, right? And each student should have their own separate email. So then you can just do maybe number 2 here or something different, right? So go ahead and set the password. And there's also an option here that says allow students to check off lessons. Now I'm going to leave this disabled for right now, but basically if you enable that option, when the student logs in, they basically have access to check off the lessons that they've completed. Now, if they're in 5th grade and up, then you might want to enable that. But if they're younger or you don't trust them, maybe you turn this off and then you check it as you see the work come in, right? So it's just your preference. And I know they're going to be adding a lot more features here later on, but this is what they have right now. So go ahead and hit save once you enter those details. Now we can go back here and log in as that student, right? So let's go ahead and log in as that demo and sign in. So basically now you're seeing what you have. Let's go back here and go to lesson planner. You can see that we got 4 different things here. Let's uncheck some of these here. And what you can see is he's got 4 different maybe lessons or plans or maybe a chore. You can simply add chores in here as well. This is the lesson plan section. So you can hit add here. You can select your subject. And let's say you don't want to do a subject, you want to do a custom task, right? And that's where you can type in a chore. And then that can be, taking out the trash or, whatever you want to do. And you can select the student and, you can choose your time, or you can do a quick pick here, which can do it pretty quick. And then save lesson, right? Or save task or whatever it would be. So now we have 2 chores and a couple subjects here. So if we go back here, you can see now he's got all these different things that he needs to complete. You can see it's broken up by the time frame. That's nice. And as they check, they can obviously they can't check, right? Because we turn that off. And if you try to check, it'll say you don't have permissions to check off lessons yet. Ask your parents to enable it, right? So if we go ahead and go back, and I'll show you to enable that option. So we go back here, hit edit, and we're going to enable that option because we trust John Smith here to check off his own lessons, right? So let's hit save. Come back here. We do need to refresh the page because those permissions changed, and now you can check off everything you want, right? Say, I completed all that stuff during the day, and if they completed everything, they actually get a little confetti thing coming down. That's a pretty nice little feature. And over here, things to do. These are things that the student or the kid can add if they want to add their own to-do list. It's not anything that really keeps track. It's for them to keep track of things that they want to accomplish. Maybe, right? They can add those here and add and delete things as well. The notes is the same thing. The student can add in notes like, hey, I want to study for the final exam. They can put that in there, right? And auto save, so even if they refresh or something happens, this auto saves, so that's nice. So now we're down to where it says today I'm feeling. That's a nice little feature because let's say your kid is tired or frustrated with something, not feeling well, or maybe he's amazing today, right? And amazing because I got a new toy or something, right? So they can add in, they can literally customize and put in whatever they want here on how they're feeling. So it's a good way for the parent to parent or teacher to see how their student is doing every day. And you're like, well, what do I see that information on the student? If you go back to students and refresh, you can see they're feeling happy, right? Because they just changed it to that. And also, if you hit edit, it's also in here as well. So you can see how they're feeling that day. So that's a nice thing to keep up with your child or student, to see how they're feeling, see how they're doing, if they're frustrated with something. So now that you've seen this kind of dashboard, this is where their schedule's at, things to do, all that good stuff. Now you can also see we can go back days and go forward on days. Now you can see what is coming up the next day, so he can see what's coming up. He can see that as well, or she can see that as well. And if you keep going scrolling down, there is a thing that's called My Grades, so they can actually see their grades. Hit the drop down, they can see all their different lessons and things that they maybe didn't do so well on, or they did great on, so they can see that information. And then if we keep scrolling down, you can see attendance. They can see their attendance. They can see that they've been present for 5 days. If they've been on vacation or absent, they can see all that information there. Activities, they can see that information. Any achievement that they've maybe hit a milestone on, that's where that information will be as well. And then they also have a nice little option here, My Reading Log. This is great because let's say, you want to say, hey, this year I want you to read 20 books, right? So if we go to Reading Log and then set a goal and say, hey, 20 books, yeah, let's save that goal. And then we come back here and you can see now they have a reading goal and they've already read 2 books, so now that's 2 out of 20, right? And they can simply here just add a new book and log their reading. And there is a timer here, which is a nice little feature. So they can actually hit play. If it's a 30-minute timer, they can change it to maybe they want 25 minutes or 60 minutes. They can simply change that from here as well and hit start. And then when the timer gets done, it'll actually do an alert on the browser and let you know that, hey, you've read the 30 minutes. Go ahead and put in your book time and everything, and if you want any notes or summary of what you read, maybe they can add that here. So it's a nice little feature, and they can also hit edit. They can actually rate the book if they want to, which is nice. So you can see if they're really enjoying a certain book series, or you can see all the information on the back end. As you can see, you hit the drop down here, you can see what books they've read and what scores and everything, and what rating they set. Well, that's about it, you guys. They are making more changes and improving the student portal a lot more, but this is kind of the gist of it. Please leave any comments or questions below, and I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.